In Star Wars Return of the Jedi, as Luke pushes his father Darth Vader to embrace the light and explains that Luke still believes there is light within his father, Vader's response is a chilling one. "You don't know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master." What does Vader mean by this statement exactly? Is the power of the Emperor so immense that even considering abandoning the dark side and his master is inconceivable and perceived as suicide to Vader? This is extremely compelling, especially concerning Vader's comments in Empire Strikes Back, where he tells Luke that together they may be able to destroy the Emperor. This leads to the question posed in this video: does Darth Vader fear the Emperor, and why is he so loyal to him when the Emperor, Vader, and the Sith in general seem to lack traits such as loyalty? There is little in the galaxy Vader fears. On the rare occasion he does fear something, he uses that power to his advantage, as the dark side feeds on such emotions. At first, when Anakin is deemed Darth Vader, he believes that with his new power and insight into the Force, he has the ability and potential to one day defeat the Emperor. However, not at all in canon, and seldom in Legends do we see him attempt to do so. There are several strong, distinct answers to this question. The first stems from Vader's original intention for becoming a Sith Lord. It was to save his wife, Padme. Although his lust for power helped him along his way, the original goal was not solely obtaining power for power's sake like the likes of Bane. After Padme's death, Vader had nothing. The Jedi were gone and the Republic replaced. All that remained for Vader was the dark side and his master. It is because of this, Vader formed a psychological dependence on the Emperor. The Emperor was all Vader had left in the galaxy. Palpatine again had saved him from burning alive, and Vader felt he in some twisted way owed him. When Luke emerges, not only is it revealed the Emperor lied to Vader, but that hole again had the opportunity to be filled with something Vader lacked, but always sought: family. In the end, the only thing powerful enough to pull Vader from the darkness was his family. The next explanation is yes, Vader did hold an outright fear for the Emperor. He saw Palpatine was willing to do anything and everything necessary to keep his power. He would massacre worlds and cause mass genocide, all in the name of the dark side, and the most chilling part, he would do it with a smile. This not only willingness, but joy the Emperor obtained committing such acts made Vader watch his step whenever around him. Sith doctrine itself also contributed to Vader's loyalty, as the Sith Rule of Two speaks that an apprentice should fully bend to the will of the master. The master is the holder of the torch, and the apprentice is to respect that completely, unless a time comes when the apprentice believes themselves more powerful and more capable of leading. The Rule of Two was built on a sense of false loyalty between two Sith Lords. Since the Sith seemed incapable of trust, it had to be artificially created. A relationship had to be formed that without the master, the apprentice would fail due to the lack of knowledge and experience, and without an apprentice, the master would be left alone and unable to advance the order. Instead of true trust, this artificial trust held the Sith together, and as was the relationship between Vader and Palpatine. The final reason is almost physical change to the Emperor. Vader is again, as he was as a boy, a slave, and although his chains may appear less binding, they were stronger than ever. As Vader's suit was constructed by Palpatine, it was also implanted with certain safeguards to ensure that Vader was incapable of challenging the Emperor. Vader's life support was made especially susceptible to Force lightning, and a torrent of it with the right magnitude would completely disable it, essentially killing Vader. The suit itself was also crafted by Palpatine using Sith alchemy, meaning Palpatine was a literal architect of Vader's suit and knew its ins and outs even better than perhaps Vader himself. If Vader ever believed himself capable of overthrowing Palpatine on his own, he likely would have. However, Vader's every move was traced by the Emperor, making it extremely difficult for him to acquire additional aid, which he would need. Vader was in fact tracked so vigilantly for that very reason. However, Vader himself believed he was incapable of defeating the Emperor, at least on his own. Even if he considered his power substantial enough in the first place, he knew the hindrances of his armor were too severe. And that even if Darksider to Darksider, he could match the Emperor, his armor and its shortcomings would be too much to overcome. So that is what made Vader so loyal to the Emperor. Interestingly, his psychological attachment to Palpatine and the dark side itself was the biggest reason he remained so loyal. The other reasons just added to this sense of attachment, which was deviously planned by the Emperor. Palpatine's plan was to offer Vader everything and then remove it, with only himself remaining. The effect was the near total enslavement of a man who for years all he wanted was freedom. And in the end, the power he believed would free him became the firmest of his chains. So that is the explanation as to why Darth Vader was so loyal to Palpatine. If you enjoyed the video and feel it deserves it, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like, as it helps the channel out a great deal. If you haven't already, maybe consider subscribing to ensure you stay up to date with everything Star Wars related, from news, theories, and of course, explanation videos. If you would like to contact me directly, the best way to do so is on Twitter at StupendousWave. If you have any future video suggestions, please feel free to again tweet them at me at StupendousWave, or you could always leave them in the comments as I try to read them all. Thanks so much for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.